The third part of the movie begins with Harry while he is sitting on his bed in his aunt's house, and he is operating his magic wand under the blanket so that it lights a magic book he is trying to read in it. It is clear that Harry is trying to hide his magic because it is forbidden for wizards who are under the legal age to use magic outside the school. Suddenly, Vernon enters upon him and opens the door violently. Harry quickly turns off the wand and hides under the blanket as if he is sleeping. The next day, Marge, Vernon's sister, arrives at their place. This is a cruel and arrogant woman, and she hates Harry without reason. However, Harry tries to be polite with her and asks Vernon if he can sign for him on a paper so that he can go to the village of Hogsmeade. This is the village that the Hogwarts students will visit this year. Vernon tells him that this will not happen unless he is a well-behaved boy all the time. Marge is present. As soon as Marge arrives, she starts speaking badly about Harry's father and mother. At this moment, Harry's facial expressions change, and anger controls him involuntarily. Suddenly, Marge starts inflating like a balloon until she flies in the air as if she is a big balloon. Everyone in the house screams. Vernon tries to catch her, but without benefit. She hits the ceiling, and then she goes out the window and remains flying in the air. After what happened, Harry reaches his limit and decides not to stay in the house for another second. He packs his clothes and goes out of the house. He remains standing alone in a dark street, and he does not know where he will go. Suddenly, a strange bus appears in front of him named Night Bus. This bus emerges from nowhere and stops in front of Harry. After that, a man named Stan descends from it and asks Harry to ride the bus. He explains to him that this bus is dedicated to helping wizards who are lost or do not have a place to go to. Harry rides the bus, and it starts moving with them at a terrifying speed. We learn that ordinary people or muggles cannot see this bus. On the way, Harry sees a newspaper written on it that there is a dangerous prisoner named Sirius Black who escaped from Azkaban prison. This is the first time anyone escapes from this prison. Azkaban prison is special for wizards who committed big disasters, and it is considered the ugliest prison in the world. They also say in the news that Sirius Black was one of Voldemort's followers, and all people are terrified of him because he might be planning to return Voldemort to life again. After a while, the bus arrives at a simple hotel special for wizards. Harry enters the hotel and finds the Minister of Magic waiting for him personally. Harry thinks that the minister came to punish him because he violated the laws and used magic outside the school. However, the minister reassures him that they will not punish him and that they controlled the situation and rescued Marge and erased her memory. The next day, Ron and his family Hermione arrive at the hotel and greet Harry. Mr. Weasley, Ron's father, comes to greet Harry and takes him aside to tell him something important. He informs him that there is a prisoner named Sirius Black who escaped from prison, and he is certainly looking for him to kill him because he was one of Voldemort's followers. Harry is the only person who was able to challenge Voldemort and did not die at his hand. At night, Harry and his friends ride the train to go to Hogwarts. They start looking for an empty place to sit in, but all the compartments are full until they find an empty compartment. Sleeping in it is a man covering his face. This man is named Professor Lupin, and he will be a new teacher in Hogwarts School. The three of them sit next to him. While the train is moving, the weather starts to darken, and the rain falls on the glass in a frightening way. The weather becomes very cold, and fear fills the place. Suddenly, the train stops in the middle of the road, and a terrifying entity appears, entering the compartment that Harry and his friends are in. This entity is like a tall ghost wearing a long black cloak, and his face is not visible at all. We learn that this entity is one of the creatures named Dementors, and they are guards of Azkaban prison. The Ministry sent them to search for Sirius Black. As soon as the Dementor approaches Harry, he starts feeling that he is suffocating and shaking hard. He starts hearing the voice of a woman screaming in his ear, and suddenly he faints. At this moment, Lupin wakes up from sleep and uses a certain magic spell on the Dementor to keep it away from them. We learn that Dementors are very dark magic creatures similar to ghosts and the most evil beings in the world of magic. They have very frightening magic abilities, such as that they can suck all human emotions and happy memories and feed on these happy memories. People who saw Dementors describe them that they draw happiness from the air, and when they see them, they enter a state of deep depression. The Ministry of Magic uses them as guards for Azkaban prison because their presence alone is enough to make any evil wizard lose his mind from the intensity of terror and depression because Dementors feed on human suffering. We return to Harry again after he wakes up and his friends and Lupin are sitting around him. They explain to him exactly what happened and inform him that the Dementors were here to search for Sirius Black. At night, they all arrive at the school, and Dumbledore gathers them in the hall. He informs them that he appointed Lupin the new teacher for the subject of defense against the dark arts, and also appointed Hagrid the teacher responsible for caring for magical creatures. Dumbledore informs them that the Ministry of Magic sent them Dementors to guard the school from outside because Sirius Black might break into it at any moment. He asks them to be careful of the Dementors because they do not know how to distinguish between the guilty and the innocent. The next day, Harry and his colleagues go to attend the first lesson with Hagrid in the forest. Hagrid shows them an animal named Buckbeak, which is a huge bird. Hagrid lets Harry ride on Buckbeak's back and fly with it. Harry is at the peak of happiness while flying in the sky. When he lands on the ground, his friends remain cheering him, but Draco is jealous of him and approaches Buckbeak in an aggressive way. Buckbeak gets scared and pushes him to the ground and injures him. Quickly, Hagrid cancels the lesson and carries Draco and transfers him to the hospital. After that, the students go to attend the first lesson of Professor Lupin. Lupin informs them that in this lesson, he will teach them how to face a creature named Boggart. This Boggart is a creature that changes its shape to turn into the thing that most scares the one in front of it. They will face this Boggart through a spell named Ridiculous. Indeed, every student starts standing in front of the Boggart, and each one of them imagines the thing that scares him most in front of him. The Boggart immediately takes its shape, and then they cast the spell on it. At that time, the Boggart special to each one of them turns into something funny. When it is Harry's turn and he stands in front of the Boggart, he finds it turned into a Dementor. It is clear that this is the thing Harry fears most. Quickly, Lupin stands in front of Harry to protect him and makes the Boggart turn into a moon and hides it in the closet. The next day, they discover that Sirius Black broke into the school and attacked a person in it. Of course, Dumbledore and all the teachers are terrified for the students. Dumbledore gathers all the students in one hall and makes them sleep in it. He closes all the gates well and tightens the guard. The next day, they attend a lesson for Professor Snape, and he talks in it about werewolves. He says that werewolves are ordinary humans, but against their will, they turn into wolves when the moon is full and attack anyone without feeling. On this day, Harry has a Quidditch match. While he is flying in the sky, suddenly a Dementor appears in front of him and starts sucking his soul. Harry falls from a high altitude from his broom, but fortunately Dumbledore casts a spell and protects him. When Harry wakes up, he finds himself in the hospital and all his friends around him. They inform him they are upset that his broom is broken, and in this way he will not be able to enter any matches again. After Harry's health improves, he leaves the hospital and goes to meet Lupin. He asks him to help him in facing the Dementors and train him on using the spell Expecto Patronum, which keeps the Dementors away from him. Lupin promises him that he will help him. The next day, all Harry's colleagues go to the village of Hogsmeade except Harry because Vernon did not agree to sign the permission for him. Harry wears his invisibility cloak to go after them, but at that time, Fred and George see the traces of his feet on the snow. They take him aside and inform him that he can be discovered easily because he does not know the way. They give him a magic map through which he can see where every person in the school is so that he avoids any of the teachers seeing him while he is escaping. Of course, Harry is very happy and thanks them. After that, Harry takes the map and wears the invisibility cloak and goes to Hogsmeade. There, he meets his friends and remains joking with them while wearing the cloak. But they are surprised when they find the Minister of Magic entering with McGonagall into a house of one of the witches named Rosmerta. Harry enters after them while wearing the invisibility cloak and hears them talking about Sirius Black. Harry discovers from their words that Sirius was his godfather, or his spiritual father, because Sirius and Harry's father and mother were very close friends, as if they were one family. However, he betrayed them in the end and told Voldemort their location so that he goes to kill his mother and father. Also, Harry's father and mother had one of their friends named Peter, and he wanted to prevent Sirius from what he wanted to do, but he could not stop him because he was killed. Of course, when Harry hears this talk, he collapses and goes out and cries. He remains shouting and tells his friends that he will kill Sirius Black. After a period, Harry masters the spell Expecto Patronum. At night, we see Harry looking at the map. He has to know where the teachers are now. He is shocked when he finds Peter walking in the school even though he is dead. He assumes that this map is broken or has something. The next day, we see Harry and Ron and Hermione going to console Hagrid, and this is after a decision was issued to execute Buckbeak. This is because Draco told his father about what happened to him. So his father said in the ministry that Buckbeak is dangerous to his son and might kill him. Therefore, a decision was issued to execute him. Suddenly, Ron's rat bites him and runs out towards a tree. Quickly, Ron runs after it to catch it, and Harry and Hermione follow him. Suddenly, a strange animal appears because it is a ferocious dog. It attacks Ron and drags him inside the tree. Quickly, Harry and Hermione enter after him into the tree. There, they find Ron terrified because the dog that dragged him is Sirius Black. It turns out here that Sirius is transformed. Of course, Harry, as soon as he sees him in front of him, cannot control his nerves and wants to kill him. But at this moment, Lupin arrives at him and prevents him. He also hugs Sirius Black because he has not seen him for 12 years because he was imprisoned. It turns out that they are close friends anyway. Of course, Harry and Ron and Hermione are in a state of shock from what happened and do not comprehend that Lupin turned out to be a traitor. Harry shouts at Sirius because he betrayed his family and caused their death. Sirius tells him that the one who betrayed his family is Peter, and also, Peter is still alive and did not die or anything. At that time, Hermione discovers with her intelligence that Lupin is a werewolf, and the evidence for that is that he was not attending lessons when the moon is full. After moments, Snape arrives and wants to finish off Sirius, but Harry prevents him and pushes him away because he wants to know the truth from him. Sirius tells him that Ron's rat is not an ordinary rat, but is the wizard Peter who betrayed his father and mother and made Voldemort know their location. Of course, no one believes his words at first, but Sirius and Lupin say that they can prove this and use a spell to transform Peter. Indeed, he transforms in front of their eyes, and Peter returns to his natural shape. His shape is cowardly and afraid. Here, Harry comprehends that Sirius is innocent, and also Lupin is innocent, and that Peter is the one who really betrayed James and Lily Potter, Harry's father and mother. Sirius was trying to kill Peter, not Ron, and that all these past years the rat that was with Ron was the traitor Peter. Lupin and Sirius want to kill Peter to take revenge for Harry's father and mother, but Harry prevents them and tells them that he needs to be tortured throughout his life because death is mercy for him. Therefore, they will take him to Azkaban prison. After that, everyone goes out, but unfortunately, the moon is full, and Lupin starts transforming into a wolf. Peter takes advantage of the opportunity and escapes. Sirius tries to help Lupin, but he pushes him far towards the lake. Quickly, Harry goes after him to check on him. Suddenly, the Dementors surround Harry from everywhere and start sucking his soul, but suddenly a white halo appears from afar. This halo is in the shape of an animal and keeps all the Dementors away from Harry. When Harry sees this white halo, he is amazed and thinks it is his father's spirit coming to save him, but suddenly Harry loses consciousness. After a while, he wakes up in the hospital, and he is fine. Hermione goes to sit next to him so that he tells her about what happened to him, but Dumbledore interrupts their talk and tells them that unfortunately, they returned Sirius to prison, and he will be executed. He looks at Hermione and tells her that 3 turns of her watch can save Sirius's life because he is innocent and wronged. He leaves her and walks. Of course, Harry does not understand anything, but Hermione understands his intention and takes out a magic watch from her. She puts it on her neck and Harry's and turns the watch 3 turns. They return in time to 3 hours ago. It turns out that this watch can transfer them in time. Hermione explains to Harry that Dumbledore knows that she uses this watch to go back in time and attend her lessons more than once to be excellent and get high grades. He asked her indirectly to use it to save Sirius. The night they return to in time is the night of Buckbeak's execution. Quickly, Harry and Hermione go to free Buckbeak before he is executed and escape him. After that, Harry takes Hermione to the place where the Dementors were going to suck his soul to see who the person who will save him is. He is still believing that his father is the one who will save him, but no one comes. Now, Harry, who is in the past, is about to die. Quickly, Harry, who came from the future, takes out his wand and keeps the Dementors away from himself. It turns out here that Harry is the one who saved himself, but when he returned to the past. After that, Harry and Hermione ride on Buckbeak and fly to Azkaban prison. As soon as they arrive, they escape Sirius and take him to the school. It is clear that Harry became very attached to Sirius and started feeling that he is like his father. He tells him that he wants to live with him. Sirius tells him that he also wants very much to live with him, but he will not remain fixed in a place and will remain escaping every while because he has a death sentence. However, he reassures him that he will see him a lot in the coming period. After that, Sirius bids farewell to Harry and takes Buckbeak and escapes with it outside the school. After that, Harry and Hermione return to our current time, and they are happy that the mission succeeded. When Harry learns that Lupin decided to leave the school, he is upset and goes to visit him to know why he wants to leave the school. Lupin tells him that all people knew that he is a werewolf, and the students' parents will not accept someone like him to teach their children. Of course, Harry is very upset for him and tells him that he is grateful for everything he did with him. After that, Harry goes to sit with his friends in the hall. Harry is surprised that Sirius sent him a gift. When he opens it, he finds it a new broom, instead of his broom that was broken and also more modern than his old broom. Harry is happy and feels that God compensated him with a second father. The third part of the movie ends. Thank you for watching.